Hey guys, I want to share with you really quick about how I use Streak in order to stay in contact with everyone, to grow my business, to track everyone I'm talking to on how I do follow-ups and things like that. Streak, I always recommend that you find something that works for you. Streak happens to work for me. I've tried Asana, I've tried Excel, Google Docs, and things like that, pen and paper. But for me, I was finding that I was losing people and they were falling through the cracks and I wasn't following up with them, and I felt bad. People who wanted to get started, and I failed to follow up with them because I didn't have a good tracking system. So this is what works for me, so I'll share it with you, and if you like it, try and utilize it. See if it works for you. You can always customize it for yourself, so you don't have to do exactly what I do, but I do recommend playing around with it to see if it's something that would help you. Pen and paper is great. A lot of top coaches still do that, as long as you have a system that works for you. I choose to do electronically because I have so many pieces of paper everywhere that I would lose those paper, all the papers and the pens, like where I was at, things like that. So Streak is awesome. You can do it, use it for free. I have upgraded mine just due to I want to be able to have be able to set tasks and notifications for certain people and certain things that I need to do that day. Say I need to follow up with someone that specific day. So I do have that option for me, but on the free version, I believe that you don't have that option. So it just happens to be like that. It's just easier for me to have it all in one place. The other benefit of this is it is a Google add-on. So I have it all within my Gmail account specifically for coaching. So I'm able to send emails directly from Streak and my Gmail account to my free leads, my customers, my coaches, and things like that. So I find that's a benefit because I don't like a bunch of different things. I like it all in one place. So that is what I love about it. So basically what it is you have these pipelines, as you'll see over here on the left-hand side. So I have different ones. I have free leads, new contacts, people from my free group, prospects, so anyone who's been interested, or people that I think that I could help or have shown interest in the past, or my posts about fitness and health and coaching. So I have that, and then I also have reconnecting with people, people that I haven't talked to in a while. They've kind of not replied, or I just, they haven't said anything in a while, they haven't replied, and things like that. So, and then I also have my ongoing challenge group, and then I also have my coaches and my downline. So with that being said, basically when I come up with all of this, I basically think of, how I would talk to someone in a conversation, how I would go about that conversation to direct them in a way, like say I'm inviting someone, what are the steps that I take to invite someone? What are the steps that I take to follow up with that person? Things like that. So what steps do I take with new contacts and, new friends on Facebook and things like that? Because I use my personal Facebook page as my primary outlet and primary way to stay in contact with everyone. So for me, that is what works. If you use Instagram, you can customize this for Instagram. You can customize it for your like page, whatever system that you use, you can customize it for you. So how do you make a pipeline? You hit new, and I always do sales CRM to track leads and customers, but they do have other ones that you can use as well. I don't really know what other one you would use, but that is what I use. So sales CRM. I am the only person that is going to see this. They are my customers and everything. So for me, that's what works. So I have a new pipeline, and this is what they they kind of give you a guideline to go off of at first. But you can change the color and you can change the names. It's totally customizable. Is another part that I love about this. You are not stuck to it being what they give you. So say lead. I'm going to say, I usually rename this lead or someone who is interested. And then I can change the color by hitting the settings up here and say I want to change that to yellow, for instance. And I can do this for every single one of these. I'm just going to do this as an example. You can change the order of these as well. I'm constantly changing stuff, so this is not the same order that I did, let's say a couple months ago. I'm constantly changing it to make sure that it fits me and it makes sense to me. So it may not make sense to everyone else, but it makes sense to me and that's what works. You can also add more if you need multiples. So say someone who is, maybe I need to follow up about getting started. So then I have that and I can change the color of that to say this green color. So that's basically it. So then you can also go ahead and add boxes. So these are all people. My boxes are people and there's just their Facebook name. So I would hit new box. Like after I click the spot that I want to put them in, I'd hit new box and say I want to put sample person. I can't type today. And hit enter. So you also have these what are called different things that you can track. So for this, I have notes, date of last email, assigned to, deal size, and stage. So stage I always keep, but there are other ones that I like to track. So I would track like their goals, what they were interested in, what programs they currently have, their first name, that's for email purposes. And then there's a couple other things. Have they signed up do they have a free account or do they have the club account? Things like that is things that I like to keep track of. I also track their email addresses, of course, but you can always add more. Now with any pipeline, in order to switch one person from this pipeline to another pipeline, say they go from new contacts to prospects or to my free group, all of the pipelines have to have the same tracking system. So what that means is all of these, like assigned to, date of last email, days and stage, and all of that, they would have to be the same for every pipeline. So you may have to write it out just so that you make sure that you get it the same, or else they will not move from pipeline to pipeline, or you will lose the information that you're tracking. And they give you a whole bunch of stuff. So you can do a free form box. So you can type in anything like, what's one, like email address. I think they have a box for that though. Email address, and you can change the order of these. So I can move it left or right. I can hide the ones that I don't want or delete them. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. You could do check boxes. So have they ever been in a free group? And I can checkbox that whenever they have been or participated in a free group. That lets me know that they've gotten value from me, just as like a free offer, basically, so that they, I can earn their trust a little bit. They can get to know how I run groups, what value I can give to them in helping them achieve their goals. So if you open this up, every person will have this little streak box on the left. You open this up and it will show you the things that I'm tracking. So you can type in notes, you can add comments, you can change the stage right here. So I can say I contacted that person. And then you can also add a call log, meeting notes, you can attach files if you need to, and a task, which is the option that I get with my upgrade. So a task I can put follow up about 21 Day Fix Challenge Pack, and I can choose the date on when I want to do that and say that's tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So that's what I like about it. And I can do that over and over again. I don't have a limit on that. So that's basically the simplicity of it. You can get as detailed as you want, but that is what I like to track. So I will show you, for example, something that I like to track. I'll just add a sample person in here. Sample person 2. This is what I normally track for anyone who is new, contacts anyone that I add into here. Anytime that I have a new friend on Facebook, I add them into here so I can start building that relationship with them. So here I have first name, email address, phone number, their goals, their Facebook link, if they are on Instagram and they're following me there. Interested in, so that's any program, Shakeology, 3-day refresh, anything like that. Programs that they already have. And then the check boxes, have they been in a free group before? Have they been or are they in my challenge group? Have I shared a webinar with them about coaching? Have they been in the open house? What they thought about coaching? So yes, no, or maybe. Let's see. Shakeology, if they've gotten it on home direct one time or they got the sampler, and then membership free or the club membership. So, and then I can also add notes. So these are all the things that I track. It may seem like a lot, but this is what works for me. So when I pull up someone's, let's say the messages that I've had with that person, and I'm like, you know, what was it that we talked about? I can always go in here and make a comment and be like, oh, we talked about the 21-day fix. Can't get started right now, but would love to after she has her baby. Things like that. So I could add things like that. I can go back in here and look at that and be like, okay, we talked about that last. Or maybe their goals were to lose 20 pounds and learn to eat healthier. So things like that I can track in here. So when I go and pull up that person, I'm like, okay, that was their goals. I can always follow up with that person and be like, hey, were you able to lose the 20 pounds that you wanted to? Or things like that. So that's what I love about it. Because paper and pen, I didn't really have that option, or I did, but it was hard to transfer everyone over. So this helps me all electronically to just do this and be able to keep up with it, especially now because I talk to so many people. So free leads, I'll kind of show you what my process is for free leads. I'll minimize these. Okay, so for free leads, I get a new lead. I'll put them in here. Maybe they're a do not contact, so I will put them in here. You know, anytime you get a do not contact, you don't have their email or phone number anyways, but I like to make note of who that person is, you know, in the leads that I have, people that I've emailed. So my new leads, I always email them first. If they never reply or say their email is a phony email, it doesn't work, it's not a valid email, then I will say I need to send a text to contact that person. Email follow-up, so invited to my challenge group because they are my free customer. I want to be able to support them in their journey, everything like that. So I will send them an email saying that they are invited to join my challenge group, and I tell them a little bit about what that entails, accountability, support, check-ins, to help them reach their goals and things like that, and I'll give them the link to my Facebook group so that they can request to join. And then after some time, I will do another email follow-up, just checking in to see how they're doing. You know, are they struggling with anything that I can help them with? Can I answer their questions? Things like that. And number 3, I'll invite them to an upcoming open house to learn more about what I do as a coach and how they can too. And then number 4, the best way to contact them. If I have not heard back from that person, I will send them an email and be like, I haven't heard from you. what is the best way to contact you, or is there a better time that we can connect and that I can help you? Another thing that I started doing was monthly newsletters. Now I do more than one a month. I'm doing about 2 a month every other week. And I include my free leads in that just so that they are getting valuable content from me, because a lot of them do not add you on Facebook, or some of them don't contact you, which is the case most of the time because they don't know who you are, but you are their coach. So I'm responsible for keeping in contact with that person. So I will add them to my monthly newsletter, and if I've added them to my challenge group, added them on Facebook, build a relationship and follow up with that person. And then you can see how many boxes you have in here. Right now I have 100. I think I have more than that, but when I started using Streak, I lost some people and I don't have everyone in here. So I'm constantly having to add people that I've never added in here before. So that's basically my process for free leads and things. One of the biggest benefits of becoming an Emerald coach is you open up your business center and hitting Success Club 5 or 10, you're getting free customers given to you. So these are customers that have been given to me since I've been an Emerald coach, and I truly enjoy that factor that you are given that opportunity to have those people. So then my next pipeline is new contacts. So these are any people that I have became friends with on Facebook, or maybe Instagram if someone's really reaching out to me and messaged me about anything. I haven't really dove too much into Instagram, so I don't really track all of Instagram. So mainly Facebook. But I will add them to Facebook. I will add them to a yearly list on Facebook, just saying friends of 2016. That's just so I know when I became friends with that person. I think Facebook tells you now when you became friends with that person, but I'm not positive. They're always changing it. So I add them to a yearly list just to kind of keep a tab on the friends that I've made for each year. And then I will need to form with them, invite them to a free group, and then I'll invite them to a challenge group or coaching, depending on who the person is, what I think that they would be good at, or what I think I can help them with. That is basically the process for that. So it's very simple and sweet. That's my process with new contacts. And then I have a free group, and as you can see, I advertise for free groups, and that is how I have built my like page, and that's how I get new customers and people into my free group, and new people to talk to is my free groups that I run every month. And it helps me to give value to people that have never been in a group of mine before, and helps me to see what their goals are as well. So I will say that I've invited them. Maybe it's a new contact that I invited. If they're interested in my event, I added them to the group. I also have the option to send a PDF that I made for my group to people from like Pinterest or my blog or Instagram. So if I sent them a PDF, then I will have that information in here. If I've added them as a friend from the group onto my Facebook, form with them, invite. If they're a rock star and they're participating every day, I'll put them in there, share coaching, follow up, and move to my next pipeline. If they've never replied, they said no, or they already are a Beachbody coach, I will put them there. Only that way, because I'm not going to steal someone else's customers. So if they already have a coach or they are a coach, I'm not going to be working with that person. So I have that set aside. If I find out that they are a coach, I always recommend that they go and contact their coach. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of the process that I go through. That simple and easy. And as you can see, I have a lot of people that I need to follow up with. And this is the list that I go off of. Every day I'll be moving people from one step to the next step, and that is the list that I use. So each day I will focus on one specific area to knock out. Say I need to form with, 20 or more people. I would just say, hey, how are you doing? So this is a process that I take for my free groups and how I track those. Prospects is a little bit longer. As you can see, 342 people in here. A lot of them have come from my free group, so I'm moving them to this pipeline so that I can talk to them and help them get started in a challenge group if they are ready at this time. So you'll see that I need to follow up with a lot of people for my next upcoming group. This also includes inviting to coaching. So yeah, that's quite a bit. Set date. So I'll kind of go through here. I have dream list. So that's anyone that I think, who has reached out to me, I know would be a good coach, or I know that they could benefit from a challenge group, but they are just not ready to get started. Or they came from a free group, things like that. Help list, that's anyone who reached out to me personally in a message and was like, hey, I need help. What are you doing? And they ask me questions. I want to make sure that I help that person because they personally reached out to me. Lead or interest, anyone who's kind of been interested on Facebook, they've commented on my post, liked it, anything that does with Beachbody. Invite to a challenge group. And then if they say they're open to more information, I will ask them a couple of questions to better get to know what they're wanting to achieve. Go over the challenge pack details, follow up about getting started, and then follow up for next month. And then invite to a challenge group event. And then they said no to the challenge group. I have that too. So I have all of that in here. And same with coaching, invite to open house, follow up about webinar share. They've been in an open house, follow up about getting started, invite to open house event, no to coaching. Last chance for before a group starts or open house. They've set a date with me. And let's see, invite to free groups. So anyone who's kind of come in, they were interested and they've never been a part of a free group and they haven't gotten started yet, I will invite them to a free group and then reconnect with that person. So if I have talked to that person over and over and they've never participated in anything, they go and reconnect. Or maybe I've talked to them, they've been interested and then they quit responding for so long, reconnect. And the same thing with already has or is a Beachbody coach. So yeah, that's basically that. So it's kind of a lot, but not really. This is what works for me. I used to have 2 different pipelines for challengers and potential challengers and potential coaches, but I found that I was only focusing on one or the other, not really both. So now that I have them all in one pipeline, it's easier for me to see where everyone's at. And then let's say reconnect. So these are a lot of people. These are people that I will check in with about once a month. If I can, there are so many people that sometimes it takes longer than a month. As you can see, I have almost 500 people in here. So reconnecting with those people, I really have to focus a day or, a day a week or something to reconnect with people and be like, hey, how have you been? And then if they've never responded after how many times I have in here, 10 times, then I may ask them, hey, do you want me to keep you on my contact list for health and fitness or not? I explain what I keep my Facebook open for. And if they've never replied, no, then I will probably end up deleting them. But I do give them a chance over and over again because I know a lot of people, you have to build that trust with them, and it's not all about the sales. So for a lot of people, this is, they don't know, sometimes people think that you're trying to sell them something and you're not. So, maybe I'll just check in with them and be like, hey, how are you doing? How have you been? Or I'll connect with them about a post that they made on their Facebook, things like that. So this is a new pipeline that I created only because after they're done in this pipeline, I was like, I need a different pipeline to put these people into. If they're not responding, or I'm not connecting with that person, then, I don't need them in my other pipeline. So that's why this one was created. I'm still messing around with it to get it to work a little bit better. Commit to become and Fit, which is now Fab, Fit, and Fearless. These are people that are in my challenge group, people that I need to follow up with. And, I'll welcome them into the group. They've received their package, follow up about their Shakeology and workouts. And then they are in the group, and I will follow up with them as well. So I'll keep doing that, invite to open house and things like that. So that's basically what I do there. As you can see, I group things together kind of by color, but changing it from like light to dark. That way, like all these follow-ups are from light to dark. And it's kind of the process, the step for that specific thing. That helps me to determine what I need to focus on. So, and then my coaches and my downline, as you can see, new coach, welcome email, same thing. I've had a get started right call with that person. They started the Coach Basics training. They're active or discount coach, Emerald, double Emerald, Emerald to squared, which are a couple things that we created in the team just to help people get to Diamond and Ruby, or advance and rank. And then people who have went inactive or canceled, they will go in there. So with that being said, that is basically it. I know this is kind of long, but I will say that it takes a couple of hours to get this all set up, and set up how you want it. That was one of the things that took me a while. Like I said, I'm constantly changing things. So this has changed a lot over time. I've been using this for over 6 months now, and I love it. I've used Asana. I got way too overwhelmed because, every time I set a task, I was like, red. And I'm like, I can't. I get overwhelmed, and then I just don't want to do anything. So this makes it less overwhelming for me, and I can pick a specific thing. Like today, I want to focus on new contacts and building new relationships. Or today, I want to focus on my free group and people who have completed my free group. Or I need to focus on my customers or my coaches and things like that. So this is what helps me with that. I like it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Or if there's a way that you're not really sure how to track these people, or you need a list of the way, like each step that I do, there are a bunch of files in the team page that you have access to that'll help you with this as well, on how to invite and how to have a challenge group and host a challenge group and free groups and things like that. So that is all I had for you today. I hope that you found value out of this. I know people were asking me how I track people, and this is exactly how I do it. So other than that, please let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys later.